Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good morning. I want to say good evening because it's dark outside.
Yeah, it was dark this morning when I left the house.
It sure was, and still pretty dark out there, and cool. In fact, I don't know if you noticed that breeze coming through here right now. It is getting colder, and I think it's going to get colder as the day goes on.
Well, high today 62, and I think it was 58 when I left the house earlier.
Okay, so it's going to be
So it's not getting much warmer.
And it'll be a great weekend of high school football right here in Troy as Charles Henderson goes head-to-head with Valley in a big region game. And then Pike Liberal Arts goes on the road to Lakeside. And Goshen Eagles got a huge game at home against Highland Home.
Highland, that'll be a good ball game.
So that's going to be a big game, a big area game.
Can you believe
too.
we're already 8 weeks in? We're already finished with 8 weeks. This is week 9.
No question about it. You would have thought we started just yesterday.
No doubt.
And slide that paper straight that way a little bit. There we go. There we go. And now you can see this guy's pretty
right
face.
in the middle.
Got young Mike Shula on our show today. Last night I had Coach Baxley and Coach Moncrief, the offensive and defensive coordinator for Charles Henderson, and they were on the coaches show last night, and really did a great job. And Moncrief comes from a great football family out of Prattville, and of course got a brother playing in Canada, and this Coach Baxley is a real good defensive coach.
And I have not met them yet, but they've obviously made a lot of progress during the year.
They really have.
They're a much better football team than they were when the season started.
And the way they shut down Carolina Ozark defensively, and then of course Tuka, I reckon that's how you pronounce it, Jones.
Puka Jones.
Puka Jones is the real deal.
Yeah, they say he can play. I'm actually going tomorrow night, so
you'll enjoy
that'll
that.
be the first time I get to see him. I think I'm the game sponsor, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well,
another area of the coaching staff done a great job. I know we've kind of picked against them here a few times this year.
Yeah.
But if you remember back earlier in the year, they were getting just a ton of unsportsmanlike personal foul penalties, and it looks like most of that's been cleaned up. So great job by the coaching staff.
And that is really important.
Yes, it is.
And of course, but what I'm saying, you're exactly right. They're playing well at the right time.
That's exactly right. They've got better as the year progresses.
And of course, they've still got a couple of good ones. One with Valley this week, and then they play Baldwin County High School next week in a non-region game, but they'll know a lot about themselves, and then
that'll be senior
hopefully
night because it's at home.
That's right. Hopefully they'll be in the playoffs, and we'll just continue this thing. And Goshen is also playing well. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you one of my upsets of the week this week is Goshen to beat Highland Home at home, and that's gonna be quite a game, and
that'll be a good ball game.
And we'll look forward to that, and we'll talk about that going in.
Some of the colleges, I know my kids are home, fall break, but it's just a 2-day fall break.
Is that what it is?
Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
But they get to come home for a weekend.
A weekend away from football.
Looking forward to that, yeah. Troy's already played, Auburn's off, Alabama's off. So
yeah. No question about it.
A lot of family stuff this weekend, people catching up.
A lot of people might be heading south because, like you said, very rare do you find it where Troy, Alabama, and Auburn all have off weeks. And, of course, the reason Troy's off is because they played Tuesday and won a big game, 38-31.
Big win over with a backup quarterback.
Yeah. Did you enjoy that?
Yes,
Did you watch
that was a good ball game.
Troy looks like the guy told me yesterday, said they look like somebody.
Yeah,
they're a good-looking football team.
They looked a lot different.
I reckon it's the way they dress. I reckon it's the way they dress. But you look at the athletes on the field, and they look positive.
Well, that's what you're after.
And right now, I think that was a huge win against, I thought, a pretty darn good South Alabama team. They came out in that third quarter, and if they're able to score, they kept the ball most of all the quarter. But if they're able to score, they get back in the game. But Troy wouldn't let them score.
Yeah, it had a huge turnover late in the game. The interception was, 2 minutes left or whatever
and the guy takes off and runs 100 yards with it.
Gets it back up at the 3, 4, 5 yard line.
He scored, and the Troy guy is about 15 yards behind him. And he turns around and tackles one of their guys.
That's so
which
frustrating for
it was a good call by the officials, but it would have been the longest return for
in Troy history.
In Troy history as far as interception. He went 104 yards, You know who this guy is? It's the guru from Maplesville.
Well, he didn't make it to the end zone, did he?
Yeah, oh yeah, he made it to the end zone.
I thought they got him out of bounds on the 1 or 2 yard line.
He made it to the end zone, and they called it back because they called it back at around the 20-yard line.
Right.
And thank goodness Troy went ahead and were able to push it in because that was one of the deciding scores. But it was a great victory against a bunch of good Troy people. You could tell that they wanted it. Of course, Coach Campbell, their head coach, played at Troy on a national championship team in '87. Coach Edenfield played on Troy team in '87. But
he's been down there 2 years now?
No, this is his first year. First year down there, and of course he left Troy, and his son went with him. KD Edenfield, and then I call him the defensive coordinator is also. I think that's Mike calling in. Hopefully, somebody needs to pick up the phone up there. But he coaches on the team, and Haystack is their defensive coordinator. Was a long-time defensive coordinator at Jacksonville State. But he played on Troy's team in '84 and '87. So he'd been around quite a while. But you watch their program, they'll grow, and they'll be pretty tough.
They've got a great place to recruit.
Really? We were talking about
all these people that are borderline SEC talent.
Yeah.
From that area. That some of the folks aren't willing to take a chance on. They got so much to offer where they're located.
You're exactly right. If you were going to name the best recruiting area maybe in the country, you would say Florida Panhandle, Mississippi Panhandle, Alabama, and Georgia. You could not have a better recruiting. Let's call it the junior colleges in Mississippi.
Oh yeah.
The junior colleges in Mississippi, the Panhandle of Florida, and Georgia and Alabama. I don't know a better. A lot of people say maybe Texas, maybe California,
but great area.
I just think that the South molds players better than anybody because they take football so seriously. A lot of people don't realize that I don't even know if they even have spring football in California. I don't know if they allow it.
I have no idea.
But, they probably work out year-round. We're waiting for Michael to call in here. And, of course, boy, what a week. This past week, Mike and Jim go 24-5.
24-5.
24-5. And we went to the tiebreaker. And the final score of the Alabama.
I think Mike's trying to call in.
Yeah. Somebody needs to answer the phone in there.
We don't have a radio, so.
I know it. Hopefully it'll get in here in a minute.
Trying to look. We both missed Tallahassee. Charles Henderson's big win. And then I think we were the same the rest of the way. Except I had Utah. And he had USC. And he lost that game. And then he had Auburn and I had Ole Miss. And I lost that game. And I was impressed with the way Auburn recovered.
Oh yeah, I want to
play better, and now if they can take this week off to continue the trend of getting better and
got a phone.
More of a coach.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know if you were or not.
Then he'll, I think they'll continue to get better if he can keep them on the same page. There were a lot of people that thought he'd probably lost them.
And you're right.
He scored 31 points against Ole Miss, but there's only two teams that have scored less than that, and I think that was maybe Liberty and somebody else like that. So, and all the offensive woes aren't fixed, but they look better.
Well, you look at their schedule, and all right, we know they got Georgia, we know they've got Alabama, we know that they've got.
It's going to be really difficult for them to win those two games. The Liberty game they should win.
Yeah. I'm missing one.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
They come to Auburn this coming Saturday, and that'll be a good ball game.
Those are three tough football games.
Yep. That's going to be a good day because there's 4 games to choose from. Is that Georgia-Kentucky day?
I think it is.
Okay, you got Georgia-Kentucky, and then you got maybe Missouri, Florida.
I've got that here, right here. I've got that right here. And I tell you what, people don't want to play Missouri right now. They're playing pretty good. Okay.
This is Michael texting me. He said he's been calling in, so I'll try to call him.
Yeah, they've got to. They're getting worked on right here.
Maybe he can get in there.
Yeah. Looking at Auburn. Good morning, you're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
My goodness, it's tough to get on this show this morning.
I think they were having some issues there.
Yeah, we just had a few technical things we cleared up very quickly, and with Mike Amos is on the phone now.
All I know is I know Scott Westfall's name really well.
Scott Westfall, yeah. He's a good man, no question. Mike Amos calling in from Birmingham, and we've got a good week. Mike, we were going over the how y'all did last week, and you and Jim went right down to the wire at 24-5, and we went to the tiebreaker. You wouldn't believe how close the tiebreaker was.
Yeah, you missed it by, of course, tiebreaker was Alabama game, finished 58-21, and I had it 41-13, and you had it 42-17.
My goodness.
Yeah, I missed the tiebreaker by 25 points. You missed it by 20. The only games we differed on, two were USC at Utah, and you had USC. I had Utah, and then Auburn and Ole Miss. You had Auburn, and I had Ole Miss.
Yeah, I don't know why I felt good about Auburn in that game. For some reason, I still felt like their defense was enough to beat Ole Miss, and that's been proven this year. When Ole Miss has a defense that can play man-to-man against that spread offense, they usually can't win.
Right.
So,
you know, that reminds.
It's going to be interesting to see who's going to pick between Georgia and Florida this week. That's going to be the real top matchup by far.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. We've got some good games. It's going to be a real good week.
I'm going to be down at the beach, so I'm not going to care as much this weekend for the first time all season.
But it's going to be.
Troy not playing too is pretty good as well. Hopefully, have you heard any more news about Douglas or our great star player out of Enterprise?
I did, and Jones. I have not gotten the results. Now he had his press conference, I believe yesterday.
Well, he had one after the game that he said that Jones hurt his shoulder, and that it's more of a foot ankle issue with Douglas. So,
well, I tell you what,
if Troy loses those two guys, it's going to really, really hurt him.
Thank goodness, though, for the long. See, they don't play again until Saturday week.
11-day break.
So that is going to be that's going to help them a lot now.
I tell you what, in Birmingham, all I'm hearing about is this targeting rule and Devin White from LSU being suspended for the first half. I mean,
yeah, you got a bunch of billboards up, don't you?
Radio in Birmingham will not stop talking about it. It's just the craziest thing.
Well, that's all there is right now.
No question about it.
I mean, I guess it is. You know, Auburn's got an off week, Alabama's got an off week. Of course, Auburn's going to have to play A&M and Jordan-Hare. That's going to be a tough matchup.
That's why we were talking about Auburn's got down the stretch is just, gosh, I'd hate to have their schedule. You know, they've got Texas A&M. You know, first of all, to get this week off to get everybody ready. Then Texas A&M at home. Then they play at Georgia. Then they play Liberty at home, and then Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Those are three tough games for them, but I believe they're already bowl eligible, so that's good.
They are. The win Saturday got them there.
And they'll win.
They're not bowl eligible yet. They're 5-3.
Well, yeah, but
they'll beat Liberty.
Oh, yeah. Assume they'll beat Liberty, yeah.
And it'll be a test, a great test for Auburn. 3 out of the last 4 games,
and I agree. You know, they mentioned, and I don't know if Auburn's actually asked the conference to give them any help or anything, but the Georgia-Alabama series, the last 2 out of the last 3 games, and having to play both of them on the road. Now, the year you get them both at home is great.
Yeah.
But the year you get them both on the road, that's a pretty tall order. That's a tough task. So I think they should take a look and try to do something. I mean, you know Alabama's not going to give in, so it'd have to be Georgia that would be willing to.
I mean, look at that national stock they got last year, though, when they beat number 1 Georgia, and then they turned around and beat number 1 Alabama.
Yeah, but they did that. They did it both of them at home.
Yeah.
And that's, they just all they're trying to do is get one of them at home and one of them away every year.
I don't know how you'd be able to do that now, though. You'd have to do 2 games at one place.
Yeah, I think in order to get that done, Auburn would have to agree to play at Georgia 2 years in a row.
Yeah. Boy, that'd be tough to do.
Yeah, it would. But Florida and LSU just went through that because of a storm. Didn't LSU go to Florida 2 years in a row?
Yeah, because of the hurricane.
Right. But now that's over, and they get to alternate them out.
Well,
I assume you'll be down in Baton Rouge next weekend.
That is our road trip.
Those words were fit to come out of my mind.
I think we have 12 or 13 going.
Boy, that sounds like fun.
Do y'all stay in New Orleans and drive over?
We'll stay in. I think we're actually staying in Gulfport.
Okay.
And y'all play golf and all that too.
Play golf on Friday, and then go to the game on Saturday. And
y'all have fun. And these mostly Troy guys going.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How'd they get tickets?
Up in Mobile.
Did you get them tickets?
I've got some. A couple other guys going have got some. We just kind of.
Did you get rid of your Tennessee tickets?
I set them up there with a guy that was going, and I think he said he sold all 4 of them for $100.
Still made money.
Well, he said it rained before the game too, and there was a lot of tickets for sale. I'm gonna tell you, it doesn't matter who it is. So far this year, getting rid of tickets to an Alabama game has been a pretty tough out.
Yeah,
I haven't been able to sell a single ticket in Tuscaloosa so far.
I agree with you.
Isn't it crazy? Number 1 team in the country, greatest quarterback maybe ever to play at Alabama, and tickets are just like people are throwing them on the ground.
Yep.
I mean, it's just unheard of. I mean, I can remember having to pay for tickets, I remember selling tickets back when Shula was the coach.
Yep.
But I can't sell tickets for the best team maybe ever.
Well, who in the heck's going to buy Alabama Citadel tickets? What are you going to do with them?
I'll give those away.
Didn't Uncle Bill go to the Citadel or Aunt Ann? Maybe we can get them to go.
No, he didn't. He lived in Charleston, though. He went to the College of Charleston.
Okay. Biggest game of the year in the Sun Belt tonight. You got Appalachian State traveling to Georgia Southern.
That is a huge game.
Will be on ESPNU tonight at 6:30 if anybody wants to watch it.
That will be a good game.
That would be a huge game. And then Appalachian, if they win, will just sit back and wait for the Troy or who's going to turn the corner and that will play for the championship in their division. Is it the East and the West or the North and the South? How'd they do that, Mike?
That's the East and the West.
All right, Troy's in the West. Is that right?
No, Troy's in the East.
All right, Troy's in the East. And of course,
I said the other day, the East is way tougher with Georgia Southern.
Yeah, see, Troy would have to win at Georgia Southern and at Appalachian, which is going to be tough. But if they do, they'll play, I think, either Lafayette or, right now, Louisiana Monroe is on top. Did you know that? But everybody thinks that Arkansas State will eventually be the winner on that side. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, Arkansas State's been really inconsistent. I thought Lafayette was probably playing the best of anybody in that side. That side is definitely the weaker side because, Texas State's awful. Other games tonight, they're actually decent games tonight. Virginia Tech will host Georgia Tech, and then West Virginia Baylor tonight as well.
Well, let me tell you.
Games, finally.
I tell you a team that I think might have, what do you call it when you get beat? You showed your weakness or whatever.
Right.
Georgia, for some reason, I have lost a lot of confidence in Georgia. They still, Georgia still, can beat Kentucky. I think Kentucky is going to beat Georgia. I think Kentucky's going to beat them.
Kentucky's got enough offense.
Mike, here it is, Mike, and I think Auburn is going to beat them.
Kentucky is a...
Maryland's a 7-point favorite against Kentucky this weekend.
Missouri.
Missouri, yeah. Missouri's pretty good,
7-point favorite over Kentucky this weekend.
Yeah, they're pretty good. But I think Auburn and Kentucky are going to beat Georgia. I think Georgia's in trouble. I could be wrong.
A lot of people think that they'll try to run the ball against Florida this weekend. I was listening to Greg McElroy yesterday, and he thinks that they'll just run it because Florida's susceptible to the run.
Yeah, but hey, I tell you what, I'll tell you something that he brings to the table at Florida is unbelievable enthusiasm. You ever seen him? He gets fired up, buddy. He gets in those guys' laps, man, and he makes them play hard. And, you get good athletes to play hard, and you're pretty good.
That's exactly right.
And that's exactly what that old guy does at Alabama, the strength coach.
Scott Cochran.
He gets in their face, and, boy, he gets them fired up. And, hey, we're talking about a 5-star that's fired up, Mike. You can't get no better than that. If you get a 5-star motivated, But we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back and pick games. We'll be right back. Brought to you by Bill Jackson Chevrolet, loaded with cars on the bypass right here in Troy.
When you are handed the key to a new Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick or GMC, rev up your imagination. Think of all the places you can go and some of the most stylish, best quality cars available on the market today. Feel confident driving vehicles with superb dependability and safety ratings. And smile. You saved a ton of money because you bought at Bill Jackson. Let the only thing holding you back be the end of the road. A Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC vehicle will not only change your life, it saves you money like nowhere else.
Forevermark Diamonds. Beautiful, rare, responsibly sourced. Available at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry.
Check out these cool savings going on now during our hot summer sale at your local Troy and Ozark Road Mart. Like our $29.99 oil change special or our $129.99 brake special. We'll also keep you cool during these hot days of summer with our $29.99 AC special. So come see us and take advantage of these hot summer specials at your friendly Troy and Ozark Road Mart, where we've been serving our friends and neighbors all over the Wiregrass since 1974.
At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we support our military. That's right, not a $1,000 sign-on bonus, but $1,200 sign-on bonus at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Thanks for your service. Thanks for your service. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we support our military.
That could have been worse. Back to our show. Of course, we appreciate Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. One of the great career opportunities out there, you guys and girls. Is Wiley Sanders Truck Lines right here?
I saw that Wiley Sanders is loading up a whole 18-wheeler trailer to send it for Hurricane Michael relief.
I tell you what,
on the beach, and
he's done things like that for years.
How bad people are struggling down there.
If people only knew what Wiley Sanders had done for people over the years, he's really been a real giver, no question about it. And again, he's showing his stock right now. Of course, now with the automatic transmissions, man, even you could drive a 18-wheeler, man.
I don't know how far, but I can make it move.
Yeah. A guy told me the other day, we were talking about this, Wiley Sanders, and now this new, now I'm not saying all their trucks are automatic, but a lot of them are. And, of course, we rode a bus down to Mobile. There were 25 buses, Trailways buses that went to Mobile. It was unbelievable. And they were all parked right behind each other. Right. I'll tell you something. A bus like that cost me around $2,200. That's pretty steep to go that distance. But
well, you got one driver for what, 50, 60 people?
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
That's a pretty good deal.
All right. When we got down there, of course, we had our 25, and they've got a big van, and they had about 7 or 8 Trailways type buses that bus their van from their campus to the stadium. Just think of the cost there for them to, and people down in Mobile don't think that they need a stadium on campus. Is crazy. I mean, if they did that, no telling how big that school could be. But they're paying this big money to bus their van from their school to the stadium, which is across town.
That doesn't make sense. I mean, the basketball arena holds 10,000. They're a huge arena.
I know it, but see, they voted against building that on-campus facility.
Yeah, I saw it.
I was going to look to see who UAB played this week. Boy, you talk about.
Well, I went to that game now.
He plays UTEP.
You talk about somebody that's
doing it. Did Dad not tell you? We saw Tallulah play at Mountain Brook.
Yeah, I went to see Mountain Brook and Thompson play.
They're on TV. This Friday night at 6:30 on ESPN2. Thompson plays Hewitt Trustful. So you got Tallulah and Paul Tyson playing against each other.
Yeah, people are getting mixed up. about the Cox kid we're in Penson Valley, the Auburn guy, Nix. Well, Nix, man, they had his stats in the paper yesterday, I believe, and it was unreal how good he is.
Yeah, all three of those guys are good.
Yeah, did you see when he played Hoover, though? Yeah. Hoover destroyed Penson Valley.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Nix didn't do anything against Hoover.
Hoover's like a college, no question.
Right. Did you watch that game, Michael?
Well, Dad and I went to the whole game.
I saw the
Hoover Penson Valley game.
I watched a little bit of it.
Okay, I watched part of that game on TV, and at that time, I thought it was going to be a long year for Bo Nix because the first 3 or 4 passes he threw hit receivers right in the hands and right in the chest, and they just couldn't hang on to him. Yeah. And I thought, oh, this kid's good, but he don't have any receivers. Yeah. But the receivers have come on as the year progressed. Now, they wouldn't have beat Hoover.
Well, like I said, I went to the Thompson game and saw Tua's brother play, and he just had average receivers. Yeah. But as good as he threw it, and he was good, and he was fast, he didn't run much, but when he did, bang, boy, he was gone. And
he looked a lot taller than 5.
He sure did, and he looked a lot faster and a lot stronger than people are saying he is too. But Thompson just has average receivers. He said, this guy that I was talking to, pretty knowledgeable, he said if he had top receivers, he said it would be mind-boggling what he could do.
Well, the best thing about it is he put the ball on the money every time that I saw him.
Oh, yeah, he's really a fine player. Hey, 8,000 to 10,000 people just jam-packed on one side of the field
it'll be that way this Friday night.
And the facility.
Luckily, I mean, if they're playing at Trussell's got a huge stadium.
Yeah. And they say the stadium of all stadiums is Thompson. They say they built a $79 million complex.
Oh, that's unbelievable,
Thompson.
Yeah.
Wow.
And let me just say this.
I mean, the high schools up here in Murrayham are
it is unreal.
They look like small colleges.
It is unreal because when I was watching that game between Mountain Brook and Thompson, right down the street, Vestavia was playing.
They were playing
Hoover, and there was 15,000 people at that game, just right down the street. And it's amazing. I tell you something unique about Mountain Brook. I told Mike was going to drive me up there and let me off. We got about halfway up the hill, and you look on both sides of the street, everybody's walking, all these people are walking. They're walking from their $1 million houses in their neighborhood. They just walk to the game. Yeah. It's tradition, evidently. And I talked to a bunch of people,
there was no parking.
And they leave these huge homes and just walk to the game.
Look, when we were in high school, I lived across the street from the high school football stadium. I walked to school every morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For a while.
My son could have. People laugh. You know where Crow Hill is. My son had to have a ride from Crow Hill to the school.
Junior high and the high school.
Yeah, but you talking about spoiled? Boy, they were spoiled in my neighborhood.
But then every once in a while I'd leave my cleats at home and I'd have to run and go get them.
And listen to this, Jim. I had I didn't have the big truck, but I had a smaller truck, and they didn't want me, Daddy, to pick them up in the truck.
Oh, a little embarrassed.
Oh boy, I tell you.
We were snobs.
But they did get in the back of it coming home from football practice. You used to see that. You don't see that anymore. People ride in the back of a pickup truck.
What's illegal now?
Yeah.
When Dad coached tournament Pee Wee football, we probably took 6 or 7 kids home after every.
Oh yeah, exactly, and loved it. We were out on the bypass one time, and this is no joke. A kid started hollering, Coach Amos, look over here, look on the ground. There's money on the ground. The money on the ground. I looked out the back of the truck, and sure enough, there was $4 or $5 in bills sitting right in the middle of the highway on the bypass.
Wow.
And they jumped out. I said, well, hold on a minute. And in a minute, one of them jumped out and got the money and jumped back in.
I don't even remember that.
Oh, yeah.
$1's a dollar.
I know it. I remember it very well. Bill Jackson Chevrolets, and, of course, boy, again, you've added more and more room for your cars and your trucks. How many trucks are you going to put on that lot?
Well, I got a bunch of trucks coming, and they actually brought their equipment in yesterday to start the asphalt work.
Yeah.
I'm adding 65 feet on the north side from the front all the way to the back.
That's going to be impressive. Because already, it's an impressive look coming down both sides of those hills. Coming down, you got a long look at your dealership, and then coming the other way, you got a long list.
Yeah, and then coming from the other way, there's some trees in front of the dentist office that we're fixing to take down.
Did y'all buy that facility?
We did. He's retiring.
Yeah, I bet he was glad to sell that facility. He's a great guy.
Oh yeah, good guy. Yeah. Right next to us, so we did. And I think I'm gonna, cut some of those trees down because I'm fixing to put up a big old flag and give it more visibility from.
Are you really?
From that side of the
road. You have a big flag.
Mm-hmm.
That gives me. I got chill bumps down both arms. that impresses me more than anything. In Birmingham, you see them all the time.
Right.
Huge flags, American flags. That's what you're gonna do.
Supposed to be. They're actually the weather put them off. They were supposed to dig the hole today.
How tall will it be?
It's going to be an 80-foot pole, and it's going to be a 20 by 38-foot flag.
Oh, you have a light on it?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, you're going to be able to see this from miles away, won't you?
Should be able to.
Jim, that is
it's going to be like Nick Saban's Mercedes place. That's going to have an Eggers Bakery and a massage place and everything in it.
No.
Saban
is. You can lead the flag when you drive by, but you can't get a massage.
A lot of these people don't realize that Saban is in the car business now. And
in multiple dealerships.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's involved in 3 or 4.
And Mercedes.
He's got one right down the street from my house and off the 459 interstate.
Correct.
But now, who drives your car at Alabama?
Jeff Pearson.
And he's one of the consistent coaches.
He's an assistant AD.
Okay, yeah. Well, he's a pretty good man to have because he knows a little bit about tickets, doesn't he? Now I know the rest of the story. Now I know where the tickets to the LSU game are coming from.
Well, I could order 8 on my original order.
All right, let's get going.
You know the guy that's always next to Saban, and he's been next to every coach for several years, is Cedric Burns. He's a real nice guy.
Yeah.
Let's get going right now. And, of course, boy, what a battle we had last week, and we're going to have another one this week. Charles Henderson plays at home against Valley.
Before we start, I wanted to say something. Remind y'all, and Michael will remember this. You tried to pick Purdue against Ohio State, and Michael said, "Are you crazy?"
I sure did, and I'll show you
where
I
marked it. You had them circled and wound up marking it out.
I show you where I had that.
And Michael said, "Have you lost your mind?"
Yeah.
I tell you what, and they just blew them out.
It wasn't even a game.
Boy, they get beat bad.
Look at what he did right here. Let's see, where's Purdue?
Right there, you had
right there.
He taught you in the back to Ohio State. Now, you were so mad he wouldn't have caught us.
And let me tell you this. Out of all the games I've watched in a long time, you know how it was cold at that game. Every Purdue fan had had something over their ears. I mean, it was cold.
And
and I don't know how much whiskey was drank at that ball game. But let me just say this. I knew that they were going to storm the field.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you, Auburn, you stormed the field like nobody else. But let me tell you,
they covered it up.
Nobody did what Purdue did. You couldn't see it was people that covered the completely.
I will say
I know it was fun, just like you Auburn
over
folks.
The last 11 or 12 years, because of the run that Alabama's been on. I was in South Carolina the year that Tyler Watts was the quarterback when South Carolina beat them, and they stormed the field.
Yeah.
Trying to think, of course, Auburn.
And that Auburn was an impressive thing.
Ole Miss.
If I could show recruiters something, that's what I'd show them. Say, look, this is what folks think about our program. This is our fan base.
The flip side to that is that shows you they celebrate because it doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
That was a great atmosphere. But I was at Ole Miss when Alabama was ranked number 1 and Ole Miss beat them.
Yeah.
When Katy Perry was there,
went crazy.
They stormed the field.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. There's 1 or 2 more.
All right, now I want you to hear this, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to hear this. And he can't deny it. Mike, you remember this so well. Jim, would Alabama storm the field after a win like that? That's exactly no. We wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do that.
I don't think Alabama's ever stormed the field.
I can never remember it in my 40 years.
And we're talking about fans storming the field after a big win.
Maybe somebody might have ran out on the field was Van Tiffin made that kick. You might have seen a few people jump over.
The kick is good. The kick is good.
But I don't even remember that.
And I'll tell you right now.
Well, yeah, I remember the game, but I don't.
And I'll tell you right now, and I'm gonna make somebody mad probably. The receiver did not get out of bounds. If today, if they, is that can that be reviewed? Getting out of bounds.
Oh yeah, Greg Richardson.
Hey, the receiver on that, who was it, Mike? It was the receiver that got out of bounds. He slid toward the boundary. I bet he was 2 or 3 yards off, and they gave him out of bounds. And that won the game. If it's the clock would roll down. It would roll down. And another thing, on that kick, they got 2 chances. Didn't they blow the whistle one time?
No. He made the kick, but Auburn was offsides. He would have gotten a second chance.
Okay, he would have gotten a second chance.
Because the right defensive end for Auburn was already across the line when the ball was. In fact, he went to block the kick and went all the way back.
And that was a huge play in Alabama history, for Van Tiffin to have done that. And, of course, boy, this football is unreal. And I'm glad to see that. And I was so impressed with Purdue. Look out for their program.
Well,
that game right there did multitudes for their program.
Those 2 kids they got, that number 1 and number 4.
Yeah.
Those kids
they can run, can't
they? Play for anybody.
That quarterback's pretty good, too. Okay, let's get going, Mike. Charles Henderson and Valley, who do you like?
What game?
Charles Henderson playing at home against Valley. It's a big region game.
Well, I picked against Charles Henderson, I guess 3 or 4 straight weeks. Now they've won 2 in a row, and I'm going to take them. I think Valley's got to try to make the playoffs as well, so this is Valley's biggest game of the year.
Oh, it's going to be a big ball game, no question.
I wouldn't be shocked if Valley wins the game, but I'll take Charles Henderson. Maybe they found something with this.
Mike, they have found something, and his name is Puka Jones.
I heard the Coppage kid played really good on defense.
Oh, Coppage played brilliantly.
He was one of the folks up for Player of the Week, I think.
Yeah, he was really outstanding. He's a great player. He didn't play against Carroll Ozark, but because he was sick. But let me tell you this is a big game, and Puka Jones will set them on fire. I'm going to take Charles Henderson. Charles Henderson got good receivers, too.
I like Charles
Henderson. All right, Pike County at Strawn. Hey, no telling how many points Pike County is going to score. They had a kid that gained 265 yards, one of the Mahan kids, last week. They'll beat Strawn as bad as they want to.
Strong is really down.
Yeah, and the problem is, Bill, Jim, and you've known this for years, Pike County, you can't take the dogs out because they don't have that. Everybody's a dog. Everybody's a man-eating dog. So hey, they'll beat them as bad as they want to. I would think
they will too.
And it will be our game of the week right here on Troy Cable.
I like Pike County.
All right, Pike Liberal at Lakeside, and boy, this is always a big. Tough ball game. A bunch of yuppies over there at Lakeside in Eufaula.
Oh my God, yeah, a bunch of Eufaula folks are yuppies.
Well, if you want to call somebody that way.
I'm about to say, I went to school with a bunch of people from Eufaula. I would never.
If I said they were a bunch of spoiled brats, I'd get in trouble, and especially about Pike Liberal, they'd get all over me, wouldn't they?
Oh yeah.
Pike Liberal will beat them. 3 touchdowns, in my opinion.
I thought you said Lakeside was undefeated.
They are. They're doing well. They're playing well. Let me give you a lowdown on that. Well, I thought I would. Lakeside is, believe it or not, they don't give. Yeah, they're 9. Pike's 9-1. I don't know what Lakeside's record is, but
Lakeside's a smaller school.
They're good, yeah. They're 2A and Pike's a 3A.
I'll go Pike.
Okay, Elba and McKenzie, everybody take Elba. Elba will beat them as bad as they want to. Crenshaw Christian under Coach Wayne Grant is on a roll, and hey, it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't go all the way, Mike. They're 9-1. 8-1. The only game they lost was to Pike. and they play at Meadowview. I'll take Crenshaw. Jim, you got
Meadowview of Selma?
Yeah, Meadowview's of Selma.
Yeah, I like Crenshaw.
I'll take Crenshaw.
Okay, Highland home at Goshen. What a football game, Mike. What a football game. Who do you like?
Well, I mean, Highland home beat Luverne, and then they squeaked one out last week. Highland home's got their best team maybe in the last 10, 12 years. I'm going to take Highland home.
Well, let me tell you this, and I know the Goshen staff. I see them and coaches every Wednesday, and I think they are going to pull off a big upset. I'm going to take Goshen to win the game. They got a big tailback, linebacker, Mike, that's now playing running back for Goshen, and they say nobody can tackle him.
I'm going to take Highland home. And we got
Luverne at Sampson, and the Sampson scored 70 points the other night.
Yeah, that was against Zion Chapel.
But you know what? Luverne's going to score 70 points on them. I'll take Luverne to win.
Yeah, I like Luverne.
Yeah, I'll take Luverne.
All right, let's get into the colleges. App State at Georgia Southern tonight on ESPN. And this is a big game for both of them. Mike, who would you like to see lose this game, App State or Georgia Southern?
I would like to see App State lose this game because I think Georgia Southern is more likely to get beat by somebody else in the conference. I think App State will probably go undefeated against everybody else, and then, of course, they'll put that last game between Troy and App State for the championship that Troy can get by Georgia Southern. I don't know how it'd work if Georgia Southern had a loss and then Troy lost to Georgia Southern and then Troy beat Appalachian State. I don't know how the champion would be determined then.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll tell you this.
I would rather App State get beat.
There's one way to avoid all that.
What?
Troy win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Troy can win out. You're right. They can do it.
If Troy wouldn't have lost their quarterback, I think Troy would have had a great chance to win the conference.
But didn't you think he was better?
He played a good game.
Yeah, didn't you think he was better, Mike, on Tuesday?
I mean, he only threw for 154 yards. I mean, we got to have somebody throw in the two.
Well, all right, he didn't really have to throw though. They got the lead and they started running.
He had a good running game.
Yeah. Appalachian State's line here has gone from 12 to 10.5 now. Those boys out west know what they're talking about, Jim.
Well, they're just chasing the money. They're dropping the line because everybody's taking Georgia Southern.
Chasing the money. I've heard that.
They want it evened up, but I like App State.
I'll take App State too.
I'll take App State, but I think it'll be a really close game. The start quarterback we mentioned from Appalachian State's from Hewitt-Trussville.
From Hewitt-Trussville, right down the road from you. Baylor at Georgia Tech at Virginia Tech. I do not trust Georgia Tech. Never trust it. Don't ever trust Georgia Tech.
I think this is a picket game because Virginia Tech's a 3-point favorite and they're playing at home, and home field's supposed to be worth 3. So
and this is like that Halloween night game too. Now,
which Virginia Tech you gonna get?
Yeah, I know it. And
their really good quarterback got hurt, so that's made a huge difference.
Yeah. Well, I would love to see Tech beat them, but I think I'm like you. I like Virginia Tech at home on a Friday night or Thursday night.
Yeah, I do too.
They'll black it out. It'll be all black, I promise you, in Blacksburg, Virginia.
I'll take Virginia Tech.
Baylor at West Virginia, and West Virginia got beat and got their feelings hurt a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, they're gonna be bad.
Baylor is better, Mike.
Another upset you picked.
Baylor is got a shot, but I'll take West Virginia at home. Didn't you say this West Virginia coach is part of the Valdosta group?
Yeah, Holgerson.
Yeah. Jim, we were talking about Valdosta, Georgia, and Mummy and all these guys and the great coach out of Washington State, all these guys that left Valdosta State.
It really started at Valdosta, but then it got really big at Kentucky under Mummy.
Yeah, and all these coaches going everywhere, including, our coach at Troy,
Did y'all get an opportunity to watch the Washington State-Oregon game?
I saw that quarterback now was coming to Alabama, wasn't he?
I see why he changed now, because he wasn't going to get to play. And, of course, they never really throw the ball down the field a lot. Yeah. Most of their stuff is short passes.
Yeah.
But he's got composure.
He's the hottest quarterback in the country. And what's his name, Mike?
Minshew.
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah. Well, guess where he was
you know, he originally signed with Troy, Jim.
He originally signed with Troy out of that Taylor County High School or something in Georgia, I want to say.
Right up at East Carolina?
He's from right outside of Jackson. He went to Troy, and then I guess something just he didn't click at Troy and decided to go junior college route. And then
right side out of Jackson, Mississippi, or where?
Yeah, he's from right outside Jackson, Mississippi, a little small town.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
You know, he's got a big old mustache, and now that's part of the mustache.
Oh,
that's part of what they do out there. Is they have signs, you know, people they're buying the stick-on mustaches. And
you want to be like him. He's a hero, isn't he?
Yes, he is out there right now.
Yeah. Okay, everybody take
it's about to be no shave November, Dad. You need to grow a beard.
Oh yeah, okay. It wouldn't take long. Utah at UCLA. This is my upset. UCLA to beat Utah. UCLA to beat Utah.
UCLA's playing better.
Who do you like, Mike?
This is the 26th game.
Yeah.
I'll take Utah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Utah.
Playing lights out right now.
Want to mention our good friends at Dixieland Dental, located 9 miles north of Dothan on Highway 231. Dr. Michael Precise, Dr. John Strength, Dr. Damon Strength, and Dr. Robert Precise make up one of the largest dental clinics in Alabama. Robert is an old Pi Kappa Phi from Troy. Great guy. They're great people at Dixieland Dental. Does anybody else agree with me on Utah and UCLA?
Utah's playing the best football of anybody in the Pac-12 right now.
I know, yeah. I'm going the other way. Syracuse at North Carolina State, and North Carolina State laid an egg.
Boy, didn't they.
Oh, I thought they'd play them tough, and they didn't. Who do you like here, Mike?
The Orangemen? What that line is.
I don't have a tablet. I'm driving. Where's this game being played?
At North Carolina State.
So, would you say Syracuse?
Yeah, Syracuse.
NC State's a 2.5-point favorite.
That's awfully low, isn't it?
Man, I don't know. I guess I'll take. I'll pull the upset here. I'll take Syracuse.
Okay, I'm gonna take NC State at home. Jim?
Yeah, I'll go NC State. We're gonna be opposite of Michael.
This is the one, and another one of these guys that you can't trust. At least I can't. But somebody told me if you'd have taken Duke every ball game, you'd been a rich man.
Well, except the last couple of weeks.
But they're playing at Pittsburgh, and again, what team's going to show up? I think Pittsburgh's going to upset Duke at home.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. You know, they played Notre Dame really tough the other day. Oh, man, this is a tough game to pick.
I'm going to take Duke.
I guess I'll go with Duke, too. I mean, they're just more consistent.
Okay. Here's one, Wisconsin.
This should be a good
Wisconsin
game.
was getting murdered by, excuse my language, but they were getting whipped real bad by Michigan. And I looked over at a friend of mine and said, man, can you believe that score? And the guy said, well, Wisconsin is not as good as everybody thinks they are. And then Wisconsin turned around and wallops a team last week. And then so I listened to a guy this week who says, take Wisconsin at Northwestern.
I'm going to take Wisconsin.
I'm going to take Wisconsin.
I'll take Wisconsin.
Okay, Northwestern, though, has got a real reputation for beating folks when they're not supposed to. Washington State is the hottest team, believe you me, in the Pac-10, but they go against the Yankees. And, you know, all these great teams, then they got to play the Yankees. Well, all these great teams, Washington State, now they got to play at Stanford.
They do.
And those pretty boys, and you talk about a yuppie school, about as yuppie as you can get, I'll take Stanford to upset Washington State.
I'm going to take Stanford. I think Washington State will have trouble recovering from their big win last week.
And that guy with the mustache, Mike, all you had to do was tell me he wore a long mustache.
You know, Stanford's really been down this year. I'd be interested to see if Bryce Love was playing. Their star running back before the season. You know, he hadn't played very much.
Oh, yeah.
He's had an ankle injury again.
But if he comes back,
I wonder if he's going to play. I'll take Stanford, though. I wouldn't be surprised if Washington State won, but that is tough coming off an emotional game like that.
Let me just see if my son and I think the same, and I don't think he can go back this far. But what sports personality was known for his mustache?
For his
Yeah, his mustache, and he used to curl it up, put wax on it.
Baseball pitcher.
Raleigh Fingers?
Yeah. You're exactly right. How in the world would y'all have been able to pick that?
Well, I was just giving him a hint.
You're exactly right. Raleigh Fingers pitched for the Oakland for all those years, and he was known for his mustache. People were paying more. He was a great relief pitcher, but people were paying more attention to him as for his mustache than anything else.
You know, I want to say Keith Jackson is a Washington State alumni, the great announcer.
Yeah.
You know, he grew up in Georgia, but I want to say he lived later in life out in Washington State.
Well, I like Washington State, and I love the coach at Washington State.
Well, you know, they almost had him in Tennessee.
Boy, they blew it then.
If he had a different personality, he could have gotten a lot of big-time jobs. Yeah.
But, you know, you ever hear him on sports radio back then? He was really good on sports. But we got to move fast. Washington and California.
I like Washington.
Mike?
I like Washington.
Georgia and Florida, the biggest cocktail party in the world.
No, this is not this is in Jacksonville.
Oh, it's in Jacksonville. You know what I like? Everybody just thinks that Georgia's coach is mean. This guy at Florida is real mean. He'll get in your lap. I'm taking Florida to beat Georgia.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, well, this line's come down. It's down to 6.5 now. But I think the difference in the game is going to wind up being the quarterback. I like Georgia in this game.
Okay, Mike.
I mean, Mullen never beat Alabama when he was there. You know, at Mississippi State, of course, you know, Florida's going to have more talent than Mississippi State, but I'm pretty sure Kirby knows how to go up against Mullen. I'll take Georgia.
All right,
and they played pretty good against LSU.
All right, go down to the bottom of your page and go tiebreaker. We're going to use this game as a tiebreaker. I say Florida 31, Georgia 24. Florida 31, Georgia 24. Jim, who do you like?
I like Georgia in the game. I'm going to say 21-17.
All right, Mike.
I'm going to say Georgia. I'm going to be pretty close to what Jim just said. I'm going to say 24-20.
24-20, okay. All right, here's another good one. Now, they had some good games, even though Alabama, Auburn, and Troy are not playing. Texas A&M at Mississippi State. Jim, Mike started talking about this quarterback situation at Mississippi State a long time early in the season.
Yeah, they got to make a move.
This guy couldn't throw. Now everybody's saying he can't throw.
Yeah, they got to do something.
Did you watch him against LSU? He threw 4 interceptions.
I know it.
Into the guys.
He was 8 for 28 in that game.
I mean, I almost thought that he was working for Vegas against LSU.
But you know what? What happened to Auburn? And I know Auburn people right now are saying themselves, why didn't we put 9 in the box? Auburn defended him like he was a great passer. If they put 9 men up there, they would stop the run.
Mississippi State's a 2-point favorite. I'm going to take Texas A&M.
Yeah, I'm telling you something. I'm going to take Texas A&M too.
Yeah, I like A&M because they've had an off week.
All right, Kentucky at Missouri. Hey, I like Missouri.
You think Kentucky's going to beat Georgia?
That's right.
But Missouri's going to beat Kentucky.
I didn't say Kentucky was going to beat. Well, they might beat Georgia that line, but I like Missouri.
Kentucky will host Georgia.
Yeah. I tell you what, Missouri is on fire offensively, even though Alabama made them look pretty bad against everybody else. So, boy, they killed what I thought was a pretty good Memphis team, Mike.
Yeah, I like Missouri to win this game, too. Missouri really impressed me with their defensive front against Alabama.
And they got a right tackle that is mean.
I think Missouri will pull this game off. Are we all taking Missouri?
Yeah, I'm taking Missouri.
I'm taking them.
Okay, Tennessee at South Carolina, another big one now. Yeah, let me say this. South Carolina's pretty good, but I think Tennessee is improved enough to play them tough. I'm taking Tennessee in an upset.
Well, I think Crisp is going to be the quarterback. You know, the Stanford transfer came in against
Alabama. And he did look pretty good.
Guarantano
I forgot about him. I'm going to change my luck back to South Carolina. I forgot about him.
Isn't it a little unique that back at the Kentucky-Missouri game that a 4-3 team is a 7.5-point favorite over the number 12 team in the country?
That went on the road and beat Florida.
Yeah.
Everybody's in love with Florida.
Think about that for a
minute.
I
know it.
Missouri's 4-3.
Yeah.
And they're a 7.5-point favorite over the number 12 team in the country who's 6-1.
That's right. You were talking about Kentucky.
A lot of people don't realize, Missouri went to Purdue and beat Purdue at Purdue.
That reminds me, Jim, when was the last time Alabama was the underdog?
Oh, God.
I mean, how many years do you have to go back?
I think it was 4 years ago at Georgia when they blew them out, wasn't it? Didn't that end up going to Georgia being a 1-point favorite?
Yeah. But it's many times, for years and years, they even
when lines were announced, it may have been 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah, maybe so. Okay, who do y'all like, Tennessee or
Are we on A&M? What game are we on?
We're on Tennessee at South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Man, South Carolina's been real inconsistent. They can't figure out if they want to start Bentley or start the other guy. And they've lost a lot of games at home. Ooh. It's hard not to want to pick Tennessee, but I think they probably got beat up so bad against Alabama. I'll take South Carolina.
I'm taking South Carolina. Jim, who do you like?
South Carolina.
Texas at Oklahoma State. Now, this has really got this
is upset alert is what everybody's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to take Oklahoma State to upset Texas at Oklahoma State. And your old man's going to be sitting up there, Mike, throwing out $100 bills to the crowd.
T-Boone Pickens.
Yeah, you reckon what would happen if somebody had one of these machines that blew $100 bills out among 100,000 fans? I wonder what kind of mob would you have?
Oh, yeah.
I'm being facetious, ladies and gentlemen. He's not throwing out $100 bills.
I want to say Texas is coming off an off week. I'm going to take Texas.
Okay, Jim, who do you like here?
I'm going to take Texas.
We're moving along. We got to move pretty fast. Iowa at Penn State. I like Iowa. They're red hot. They're undefeated, Mike. Iowa, the Hawkeyes.
They're undefeated?
Yeah, I think they are. I'm thinking they are undefeated. Mike, am I right?
I don't know. I don't have my computer in front of me.
I'm fixing to tell you. All right, let's see.
I want to say they've lost one.
I think they're undefeated.
Iowa's 6-1. Penn State's 5-2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Penn State's a 7-point favorite.
I like Iowa to win that game.
Now, Penn State's been disappointing.
All right, we got to move quick, real quick.
I'm going to take Penn State.
Mike, got to give it to us quick.
Give me Iowa.
All right, Purdue at Michigan State. I'm taking. Who do y'all like?
Yeah, I like Michigan State with Purdue coming off that big win.
Just shoot in here because one of us got. Who do you like, Mike?
I'll take Michigan State.
Mike, just shoot in here because one of us got to have some relief. That's Vanderbilt, and that's Arkansas climbing the tree to get the coon out of the tree. And Marcel said, just shoot up in here because one of us got to have some relief. I like Arkansas to beat Vanderbilt.
Where's this game being played?
At Arkansas. And I don't know if it's at Little Rock or...
They're playing in Arkansas, and Vanderbilt is a 1.5-point favorite. 3-5 versus 2-6.
I'll take
Fayetteville.
I'll take Arkansas.
Yeah, I think Arkansas might pull it off.
All right. Kansas State at Oklahoma. I'll take Oklahoma. Murray, of course, the quarterback at Oklahoma, turned down $8 million to play football. All right, who do you like here, Mike, real quick? We've got to move on.
Take Oklahoma.
All right, Oklahoma, everybody.
You got to get out here early?
Yeah, well, what time is it?
8 o'clock.
Oh, gosh.
I didn't know what you were doing.
I don't know either. Let's go to break. We're going to take a commercial break. We got plenty of time.
When you were handed the key to a new Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick or GMC, rev up your imagination. Think of all the places you can go in some of the most stylish, best quality cars available on the market today. Feel confident driving vehicles with superb dependability and safety ratings. And smile, you saved a ton of money because you bought at Bill Jackson. Let the only thing holding you back be the end of the road. A Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC vehicle will not only change your life, it saves you money like nowhere else.
Forevermark Diamonds. Beautiful, rare, responsibly sourced. Available at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry.
Check out these cool savings going on now during our hot summer sale at your local Troy and Ozark Road Marts, like our $29.99 oil change special or our $129.99 brake special. We'll also keep you cool during these hot days of summer with our $29.99 AC special. So come see us and take advantage of these hot summer specials at your friendly Troy and Ozark Road Marts, where we've been serving our friends and neighbors all over the Wiregrass since 1974.
At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we support our military. That's right, not a $1,000 sign-on bonus, but $1,200 sign-on bonus at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Thanks for your service. Thanks for your service. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we support our military.
I want somebody to quit.
Back to our show, brought to you by Bill Jackson Chevrolet on the bypass right here in Troy. And, of course, Jim, I want to say Jim Jackson Chevrolet. Your daddy turned over the reign.
Yeah, but I'd never change the name.
Heck no, you're right. Been in the car business a long time.
He's had his name on a sign since 1979, I guess.
I used to love to talk to him about old Birmingham and how important car dealerships were back in the old days. And you know, it's a long list of car people, and you could name them over and over and over in Birmingham. And I know they were competitors, but it seemed like on game days, especially when Alabama played up there, they'd have trailers, a long line of trailers where they'd be having tailgate parties, and everybody be in line trying to get in there. Everybody wanted to go to one of the automobile tailgates, yeah.
And I can remember actually
probably throwing the football outside one of those.
More than likely, I think it was 1975 when it was Jackson Ogle. So I guess that's the first time that the Jackson name went up.
Let me tell you something. They have stopped at Jordan Hare and more than Jordan Hare, Bryant-Denny Stadium, and they still do it at Nebraska, and they still do it for UAB. Is where you can go down to ground level and walk all the way around. You know, like before the game. Mike, how many times did I tell you that we had to make it to the game an hour early so we could see watch the players before the game? Isn't that right?
Well, I mean, there's pictures of me when I'm a little kid. You hold me up.
Coach Bryant would be just right over his shoulder.
Yeah, when Bear Bryant was standing there.
He would walk in and he would go over and start leaning against the goalpost, and I bet there was 100 photographers over there taking pictures, and he lighting up a Chesterfield. You know, back then you see a coach actually smoking on the sideline.
Oh yeah.
He smoked Chesterfields.
Yeah, he smoked Chesterfields and unfiltered Chesterfields. I will tell you a funny joke, and I know this is making a lot of folks smile this morning. When they played Tennessee, you know, if Alabama won, it gave out cigars. And
they still do that.
And they were talking to Coach Bryant was moving around, shaking everybody's hand, and they lit up those cigars. Bill Rice was telling me about this. And there was one guy that says, Joe, you want a cigar? He said, no, Coach, if it'd be all right, I'll just smoke my own. He pulled out a pack of Lucky Strike, put it in his hand, and lit it. Hey, I mean, back then, smoking, they didn't realize what smoking would do. Now, most coaches were against it, but instead of taking the cigar and lighting it up from Coach Bryant, he said, Coach, if you don't mind, I like to smoke my own. So he pulled out a Lucky Strike and lit it up.
Yeah, my dad used to carry me over to Legion Field. Of course, we lived in Glen Oaks, towards Fairfield. So
well, you lived in rough country, didn't you?
Rough country now.
Steel country.
But we'd go over there on Friday nights to the walkthroughs.
Oh, would you?
The team would come in and do
the
walkthrough on Friday night before the game.
Sure, that was fun.
Over there and
how about when Southern Cal came?
That might have been a little. What year was that?
I was 70.
Early 70s. When Musso and them, 77.
I may have, but I don't remember it. I would have been 5 years old at that time.
What was Johnny Musso's number?
22.
That was quick. And then they had those tearaway jerseys. And, you know, he would go through 4 or 5 jerseys, maybe even more than that, because what you do, they grab the jersey and they just run it out. It was like a T-shirt.
Thin T-shirt.
A thin T-shirt. And Oklahoma did it. Texas did it. All the wishbone teams did it.
Actually, I ate breakfast a couple of weeks ago.
Arkansas probably did
at Ramajama, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. And there is a jersey hanging in the dining room. I can't remember whose number it was, but it said it was the last tearaway jersey worn by an Alabama player.
Oh, man.
They got a lot of stuff in there that if you've never been there and you like looking at old stuff and old pictures, you should go in there. Just, go in the morning, get you a cup of coffee, and just walk around. There's a ton of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I used to work at the University of Alabama. I used to go in there and get their omelet. They got really good omelet.
Yeah. On game day, you can only get the eggs scrambled.
Yeah. Well, it is a great place.
Which is sold out. It's sold to a different
company. And I was wondering how well
of
course, it was right next to it.
I was thinking that might be the last time you go to Legion Field to a game, but, Auburn, the way they're playing, they might end up in the Birmingham Bowl, so you might go back.
But, I was looking at that Legion Field and sitting there with Johnny Williams. And Johnny, former athletic director and been around football for years and years, he said it'd be a shame to tear that place down because it is still a very adequate place to play football, especially once they blocked off the end zones. Well, it makes a great 45 to 50,000 seat
It's all about money today. And that's, a prime example of that is in 2010, they spent $68 million building the south end zone upper deck in Tuscaloosa.
Isn't that amazing?
After next football season, they're tearing it down.
Are they really?
Yep. It's going to make it 9 years.
Yeah. Let's see who's on the line here, Mike. Hold on a minute. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Good morning, Mike. How you doing?
Doing great, man. What's going on? You going through McDonald's or where you going?
Actually, I've got court in Dothan today, so
Are you trying to get some money out of the machine, or what are you doing?
I've got a trial in Dothan, so I'm in Dothan.
All right, Will, quickly give us your games against the line. Against the line.
Okay, I've got 6 games. Tell me when you're ready.
All right, ready.
Okay, I like.
And he's good, ladies and gentlemen.
Or Utah -10 against UCLA.
Oh boy. All right, I'd taken. All right, go ahead.
I like the Georgia Bulldogs to whip Florida. They're giving up 6.5.
Okay.
I like Clemson to beat Florida State by more than 16.
Okay.
I think that's one of the best picks of the day. This is one I don't understand. Missouri 7-point favorites over Kentucky.
Yep.
And that looks funny. So when you see one that looks funny, you go with Missouri.
Where's that line? 6?
Missouri 7-point favorite over Kentucky.
Yeah. And they're playing at Missouri, and they can score a bunch of touchdowns.
And here's another crazy one. Texas A&M is getting 2 points from Mississippi State.
Getting 2 points?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Mississippi State is favored by 2 points. But in this case, I think Texas A&M will beat Mississippi State.
I think they will, too.
They will beat them, so I like them in that one.
All right, one more.
Then the last one is Texas is playing Oklahoma State, and they're playing in Oklahoma State, and Texas is giving up 3.5, and I like Oklahoma State in that game again.
You like Oklahoma State, okay.
That's my.
And they're getting how many points?
They're giving 3, and Oklahoma's getting 3.5.
That's what I'm saying, getting 3.5. You're going to take them plus 3.5. Okay, he likes Utah -10, Georgia -6.5, Clemson -16, Missouri -7, and A&M plus the 2, and Oklahoma State plus 3.5. So you got 2 dogs you took right there.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy week. Alabama and Auburn are off. LSU's off.
Yeah. How did you do last week? How'd you do?
Oh, I did great. I think I hit 4 out of 6, I think, last week.
Well, that's pretty good percentages, and we'll keep up with this right here and talk about it next week, see how you did. Anything else? Everything else going good?
Everything's going fine. I think I told you this when we were talking, not on the air, but every time Neil Brown is on national TV, it makes it less likely Troy's going to be able to keep him.
Yeah, he was impressive, wasn't he? They're a good-looking football team, aren't they?
Yeah, and now I don't know what happened to them at Liberty.
Yeah, it was a fluke.
They lose to Liberty. Liberty this is their first year playing football.
It was an inexperienced quarterback, and the offensive line lost confidence, and that's what happened. They were much better against South Alabama. South Alabama was a much better team than Liberty.
Yeah, and I think South Alabama actually played pretty good.
Yeah, they're going to be good on down the line. You watch them.
Yeah, that coach is a pretty good coach.
Yeah, he is. He really is. He played at Troy, and he's great. Won 2 national championships, one in junior college and another one at Delta State.
Now, Troy has not lost a conference game yet.
No, our destiny is our own. You know, we've still got some tough ones. We got Lafayette at home. We've got Georgia Southern on the road, and then a huge game on the road at Appalachian State.
Yeah, I think that's going to probably be the one that determines which bowl they go to.
Yeah,
they're
no
going to be going to a bowl.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're already bowl eligible already, so that part of it's gone.
There is one game I do not understand. Vanderbilt is playing Arkansas at Arkansas.
Yeah.
And Vanderbilt's favored by 2 points.
I like Arkansas in that game.
You've got to think Arkansas will find a way to win a game. They just struggled.
Well, you're exactly right.
I can't believe Vanderbilt's favored to beat anybody.
Who do you like in that game? Why didn't you pick that game?
I just can't.
Oh, I understand. All right, listen, I'm going to put together a matchup between Jim and his favorite golfer and you and your favorite golfer, and I'm going to commentate it.
And if you hear of any reasonable price, call me.
What now? What? LSU?
All right, it looks like, I checked yesterday for somebody, and it looks like they're about $450 a pair now.
What, LSU Alabama game?
Yeah.
I can't think of a time it's been any bigger than this time.
I'd pay $400 for 2.
Oh, you would? All right.
I would.
I'll keep an eye on Tighter and Cider.
All right, we'll do, and I'll keep my ears open. Thank you, Will. We got Mike on the hold.
All right, see you.
Thank you. Okay, Mike, that was Will calling in, and he had a few teams he liked. Are you back on? Mike?
Who do Will like?
He liked Utah minus the 10, Georgia minus the 6.5, which might be pretty good. Clemson minus the 16, Missouri minus the 7, Texas A&M plus 2, and Oklahoma State to upset Texas plus 3.5.
Yeah, a lot of people like Oklahoma State.
And I think he really likes Arkansas, but don't want to play it.
Yeah, Will lost his paralegal yesterday on Facebook, and he sent out a request for everybody to try to help him find a new paralegal, and he found a new paralegal by the end of the day.
Did he really?
Yeah.
We should have talked about that. All right, let's get it going. And, of course, this show is brought to you by Bill Jackson Chevrolet on the Bypass. And, you deal in General Motors products, but if somebody wanted an SUV of a different from a different company, you get it.
And we got we got 7 days left in the pink.
Yeah.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
And y'all do that as well as anybody.
What we're doing there is $100 for every car to the American Cancer Society, and then for the last 10 days of the month, we're also doing $100 a car to hurricane relief.
Yeah.
That's great.
So we split it up to two different areas. I know hurricane relief is not really related to Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but I think they're they're in as big a need right now as anybody. So
no question about it. All right, let's finish up with this.
Yeah, what they need at the beach more than anything right now is tarps. That's what everybody always talks about on Facebook.
Yes,
tarpaulins.
Yeah, cover stuff up.
Yeah, and there's a big racket in that, man, where they just people selling them at unreal cost and so forth. And
well, I mean, they just don't have enough down there in the stores to buy them. They're all gone.
Yep.
Okay, let's quickly go. All right, I took Arkansas over Vanderbilt. Jim, what did you do?
Where we at? I took Arkansas, and Michael took Arkansas. And
I took Michigan State against Purdue.
Yeah,
what did y'all do?
Everybody took Oklahoma.
All right.
We're already through the Oklahoma game.
All right, Arkansas State at Lafayette. Lafayette is a lot better, and I'm fixing to do something. Lafayette is a lot better. I picked them to upset Arkansas State, Mike. And that's going to turn that whole division around. But I think Lafayette's going to beat Arkansas.
Arkansas State.
State.
That's definitely to Troy's advantage, having all that extra time to get ready for Lafayette for homecoming.
Lafayette's much improved.
I'll take Lafayette.
I didn't expect that to be
Arkansas State's a better program. They got better players, but Lafayette, Napier that was at Alabama's done a good job there.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy to be thinking about this.
I'm going to take Arkansas State.
And you're going to go Arkansas State, okay. Texas Tech and Iowa State, and Iowa State is red hot. They got a young quarterback named Purdy. And ever since he's been at quarterback, they have won, and I think they'll continue to win. I'm going to take Iowa State to beat Texas Tech.
I bet that'll be a high-scoring game.
Well, you know what, though? I thought Iowa State and TCU were going to be a high-scoring game, and neither one of them could score.
Texas Tech's really turned their season around with Kingsbury. This is the best they've played in years, and their defense has actually played better.
That's the key. That's been the key right there.
This is going to be a great game. I don't take Iowa State at home, though. You sure it's at Iowa State?
Well,
I can tell you right here.
That's the biggest.
It is at Iowa State. Iowa State's a 3.5-point favorite.
And I know it's right in the middle of pheasant hunting. Now, when Troy played them out there years ago, I asked a guy, I said, well, where's all the people? He said, well, most of them are pheasant hunting. It was the first day of pheasant hunting season, and they went and hunted pheasants, and then after the pheasant hunting, it got dark. They came on into the game. That is big out there. Have you ever been out there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I haven't, but Iowa, South Dakota, all those areas for...
Is anybody going to Iowa State? Texas Tech?
No, I'm going to take Iowa State.
Okay, Clemson at Florida State, and some people are talking. The line came out at, I can't even read it, 16 and stated, or 18 and stated 18.5. Evidently, Clemson's for real. I'll take Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson's 16.5 now. That's an 11 o'clock game.
A win here, I think, is going to get them in the top four. What do you think? Who else do they have on their schedule?
They're already in the top
four.
Clemson's
already in. They're number 2.
I know, but stay in the top 4. Who do you think?
Let's see. Clemson, I'm sure they play South Carolina late.
Yeah.
Let's see. Schedule.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence had his best game last week. I'll take Clemson.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Florida State played tough.
What makes this guy so good, and why do these other guys just pick up, and leave all of a sudden?
Dang, 3 of their last 4 are at home. They got Louisville at home, Duke at home, South Carolina at home, and at Boston College.
See, and they'll beat all those guys.
At Boston College is their toughest game left.
So if Clemson can get by Florida State, and Florida State is good on defense, if they find a way, but I don't think they will, but this will be Florida State's toughest task until they play Alabama or Notre Dame in the championship game.
Florida State is 4-3. They got to have 2 more wins
to be bowl
in their last 5 games to be bowl eligible, and their schedule consists of Clemson, at number 22 North Carolina State, at number 3 Notre Dame, at home against number 9 Florida, and Boston College.
They're gonna have a hard time.
They got to win 2 of those games.
That's right. They might be Boston College, but I don't know. And
they got a long bowl streak going too.
37 years is what one of my buddies said the other day.
37 years bowl streak. You're right.
They barely made it in last year. They had to get La Monroe to play that game after the season was over.
I want to remind everybody a big parade in the Nutter Butter Parade's in Brundage tomorrow, Saturday, and they've got a big event going on down there. It'll be a lot of fun to be in Brundage Saturday morning for the Nutter Butter Parade. And also you need to buy your tickets for Come Home. It's supper time. I promise you. Jim, you ever been to that?
I have not.
Oh, you'd love that. And of course, the food's great and the play is great, and we look forward to it. Of course, Jim Jackson with Bill Jackson Chevrolet is here, and Jim, you've been in the car business ever since you were knee-high to a grasshopper.
I guess
right?
it's all I've ever known.
Hey, if you weren't selling cars, you were outside throwing the baseball or
football, doing something.
And you would probably say,
how's Clay Central doing this year?
I don't know.
Or Central Clay? Is it Central Clay or Clay Central?
It's Central of Clay
I've got it
County.
right here. What class?
Now I do have a nephew that's head coach at Jacksonville, and they're undefeated and ranked second or third in 4A or 5A.
You
at Jacksonville in Jacksonville, Alabama?
Yeah, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I tell you another good program out there at Lynette. Boy, they're really good. We got one more game, Navy at Notre Dame.
Well, Navy's awful this year. They've only won 2 games.
I think everybody will take Notre Dame.
I'm looking at Central Clay is not listed.
I mean,
in the top
don't
10.
you think this is going to look just like 4 or 5 years ago if Notre Dame makes the playoffs and they end up playing Alabama? Don't you think Alabama will beat them by 50 points?
If they want to.
Don't you think this Notre Dame team, I mean, they barely beat Vandy.
All right, but now this is supposed to be a better defensive team than they've had in a long time.
Well, I mean, they changed quarterbacks. Quarterback play has been better.
Yeah, everybody will take Notre Dame. All right, right now, all right, Alabama, if they can win out, will be in. Clemson, if they win out, which they will be in. Clemson might have the easiest way to the Final Four.
They do.
Notre Dame, their schedule's always tough. Do they still have to play Michigan?
No, they opened the season with Michigan, I think. And beat them.
So Notre Dame is going to be in there. Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Michigan, or who else? Ohio State, if they beat Michigan, don't you think will be in there?
Probably, because the media loves them.
Do you think the Ohio State Michigan winner will make the top?
You know what's going to be really interesting. Let's say Ohio State wins out, and Oklahoma wins out, you get down to those 2 schools. I don't know who the other 3 would be. Is Ohio State in a position again to where a bad loss to an unranked team is going to hurt them?
Yeah, that could be.
And that's exactly what got them last year, was losing big at Iowa.
If Purdue turns around and gets beat this weekend, like I think they will, to Michigan State, you're exactly right.
Right. It's
you
just don't need those losses.
Ohio State games at Ohio State.
Well, it's a huge game, but maybe the biggest game. Listen, y'all, maybe the biggest game in the last 10 years might be at Alabama at LSU.
Well, I don't know. They had some of those, what they call game of the centuries back in 11, 12.
Yeah.
When they were both undefeated and ranked. Actually, they had a couple of times they had 1 versus 2 matchup.
Yeah. Have you bought you a blue or green or a shirt so you can wear it so you won't wear red? I mean, you're not gonna walk through
purple.
You're not gonna walk through all that crowd of. Is the game gonna be in the daytime or at night?
7 o'clock at night.
Prime
time on
CBS. Gosh, biggest game, ladies and gentlemen, in history, maybe. Yeah. But are you gonna have enough guts to walk through that crowd with a red shirt on?
A lot of people talk about that. We have never had a minute's trouble down there. We stop and eat with the people. They'll feed you. They say, hey, the cooler's over there if you need anything to drink. And, if they're getting beat bad at halftime, they're gone. They go back to their tailgate.
For those guys, they start early morning cooking a hog. You just reach in there and pull out a hunk of meat.
They do a lot of drunk chickens down there.
A lot of drunk chickens.
And I don't know if the beer ever makes it under the chicken, but
it's going to be excuse me, they call this Florida deal the biggest.
Well, you can't call it the world's largest outdoor cocktail party anymore. They made them change the name.
All right, but they used to.
So that's the world's largest social
gathering, outdoor cocktail party. Well, let me just say what they're going to call the Alabama LSU game. The biggest drunk in college football, because half the people are going to be drunk going in the game.
And I'll say this:
the most obnoxious crowd I've ever seen LSU Alabama was the 2011 national championship game in New Orleans in the Superdome. I've never been around more obnoxious LSU fans day But they were so confident, so cocky, they didn't think Alabama could beat them. And that was the worst I've ever seen.
But you know what, Michael? When we left the game, going back to the hotel, I can't remember if we were staying at.
Oh, they were crying after the game.
And all the tents that were parked on the road where everybody was tailgating, they were gone. They'd already taken them down and left. All those guys left at halftime. But we have a great. That's one of my favorite road trips because we have a great time.
I know it is, and I'm being facetious about a lot of this, especially the biggest drunk. But let's just say alcohol outside the stadium on a football game is prevalent, very prevalent, and there'll be a lot of it partaken. Wouldn't you think?
Oh yeah, and I was going to mention, and Michael will know this because I think he's been to Tuscaloosa a couple of times lately. They brought Dixieland Delight back in Tuscaloosa. Yeah. And Blair beat Auburn over the PA system during the part of the lyric where the Alabama students say something different. But all these people that are getting all up in the air and upset about that.
Thank you.
Go to Baton Rouge and sit through a football game.
Yeah.
And you'll realize just how trivial what they do in Tuscaloosa is.
Yeah.
Because in Baton Rouge, it's from kickoff
it's unbelievable.
to the end if it's a close game.
Michael and I have been to a couple of those games, and one of them was the old boy from Mobile who was the biggest fluke maybe in pro football history. He looked like the greatest quarterback that ever lived that game, didn't he, Mike? And we were sitting up in about as high up as you could get, and that is a long ways up there, buddy, at the double day.
That's we were sitting there last night talking, and
is that where your tickets go?
One of my buddies said something about we got plenty of tickets, and another guy said, yeah, we do. He said, but you got to pay attention. He said, what do you mean? He said, when you see a plane coming over, you got to duck, or the wheels will hit you in the head.
That's right.
And that's about right.
It is one of the highest
It's steep, and it's a long way up there.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And they're not doing anything other folks don't do. Everybody now takes their visitors and sticks them on the top 6 or 8 rows of the end zone upper decks.
Because they know it's going to happen.
Nothing's worse though in Knoxville. You can't even get out of the upper deck in Knoxville.
Yeah, I don't go back to Knoxville anymore.
And they got the most narrow seats too. Now with
you're literally sitting on half a seat.
Do you sit next to do you buy your stadium seats for your seats at Alabama? You're in the box. You're already in a chair back.
I'm in a chair back already.
All right, but you see a lot of other people rent these chairs.
Correct.
It actually makes it uncomfortable with somebody that doesn't have one of those.
Right.
Isn't that right, Mike?
They take up half the seat as well.
It really does. And something ought to be done about it because some people.
I called the seat Todd Pride, and they got in touch with the seat people, the chairback people, and I got them to move the seats over for the last game, and it was still tight.
Yeah. No question about it. No question. But we have a lot of fun.
It's going to be a fun weekend for football. I'm definitely wanting to see that Georgia Southern App State game tonight, and then Georgia Florida is going to be a great game as well this weekend.
It's going to be a great game, and of course, remember Bill Jackson Chevrolet is dealing with all the General Motors cars on one roof. You got Cadillacs, you got Corvettes, you got
Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC,
Camaros. You got a Camaro,
Yukon, Sierras. The new trucks are here.
Yeah. Is the new truck looking any different?
Oh, yeah, totally changed.
Everybody wants that bull front, don't they? Want that big, prominent front. Yep.
We're down to about 5 seconds. We probably need to go, but come see us. We'll see you next week.
And, ladies and gentlemen, when you come back, you'll see where I win next week in this figure deal. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday morning, bright and early for Today in L.A.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC, where we've gone pink, invites you to join us in the fight against breast cancer. Purchase any car, truck, or SUV in October, and we give $100 to fight breast cancer, as well as $100 to help those affected by Hurricane Michael. Get savings up to $17,000 on new Sierras and Silverados, and up to $12,000 on Yukon and Tahoes. Bill Jackson, where we've gone pink. A short